I revealed to my dad's wife the real reason why he and I were never close. My dad gave me to his sister the day I was born because my mom died having me, and my aunt later told me he blamed me for it and couldn't handle looking at me. Growing up, I'd see him at Christmas or Thanksgiving, and he'd walk right past me like I didn't exist. And when I was around 12 or 13, he started saying it out loud, telling me I killed her, saying it quietly at family dinners when nobody was listening, and that he couldn't even look at my face without seeing what I took from him. I went to therapy 3 times a week in middle school and used to cry at church every Sunday, praying and asking God if I was going to hell for killing my mom, which shows how much his words messed me up. But I kept trying anyway, thinking maybe one day he'd change his mind about me. After I graduated high school, he told me straight up to never contact him again, saying he had no legal obligation to me anymore since he'd been sending my aunt money all those years, and now that was done. And that's when I finally stopped trying, and we went our separate ways. My aunt never mentions him. My grandparents sometimes do. And that's how I found out he got married 2 years ago. They were upset he didn't invite me to the wedding, but honestly I didn't care because we weren't close. We were nothing. Then last month his wife reached out through my grandma because she wanted to meet me, and had apparently been asking about me for months until he finally caved, and he called me for the first time in 9 years saying she really wanted me in their lives and asking if we could meet at their house. But then he said something that made my blood boil, begging me not to tell her the real reason we don't talk and saying she thought we just didn't get along as a teenager and lost touch after college. I didn't agree to anything, but he kept pushing, saying this could be our chance to reconcile and start over, though I knew he was only doing this for her and never for me. I showed up at their house on a Saturday afternoon, and she opened the door with a huge smile, introduced herself as Nicole, and hugged me like we were already family while my dad stood in the hallway looking uncomfortable. She made coffee, brought out cookies she'd baked that morning, talked about how happy she was to finally meet me, and said she'd been telling my dad for over a year that family was important. Then she asked what happened between us, saying my dad told her we just grew apart, and she looked at me with kind eyes like she genuinely cared while my dad stared at his coffee cup and wouldn't make eye contact. So I told her everything. That my mom died giving birth to me, that my dad gave me to his sister, and I grew up in her house instead of his, that he ignored me at family events, that he told me I killed my mom, about the therapy, the crying at church, the years of trying to get him to love me, and about graduation day when he told me to never bother him again. Nicole's face went completely white. She put her coffee down and asked my dad if it was true, asked again louder when he didn't answer, and when he finally nodded, she stood up and walked out of the room and I heard a door slam upstairs. My dad looked at me with pure rage and told me I ruined everything, that she'd been the only good thing in his life since my mother died and I destroyed it. And as I stood up to leave, I told him maybe he should have thought about that before he destroyed me for 27 years. Then I left. 2 days later, my grandma called and said Nicole had called her crying, asking if what I said was true, and my grandma confirmed all of it.